Oh, and that's a perfect segue to what I was going to say. This is part two now. We're going to do our possible theories that we all have. I don't really have any theories. I think that, like Nick said earlier, is the kids, are they going to grow up? But I'm wondering, are they, do you think that they'll take it to that step where they're going to become Speed and Wiccan? Who knows? Like maybe that'll be something for another show. Like they'll leave it open ended for the future, but they might not hit it here. That might be a possibility. And then the whole Agnes thing, I read something about how she's trying to push Wanda more and to use her powers more and more, and even to resurrect the dead, not just Vision, which is a machine, but the actual dead, which is Sparky. And um, basically, leading back to, I had a conversation with my wife as soon as the show ended. Every time the show ends, she's like, "I'm so sad like that. I feel so bad for Wanda." She really is very empathetic towards Wanda, and it is sad. And I told her like, "No, Wanda is a villain here. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's still continuing. Now she's even said it. But then when she said, "There's no way that I can be controlling everything, dentist appointments, making sure everybody goes to school on time," and then the doorbell rings. I think that that's like she is controlling the majority of it, but I think Mephisto, sorry, once again, I'm sorry, but I think Mephisto, anytime that Wanda is going back to reality and maybe to that final stage of acceptance, anytime she's about to hit that, Mephisto comes in and just gives her another push, and then this time it was, hey, here's Pietro. Check him out. Aren't you sad? Aren't you happy to see Pietro? Aren't you so great? So I think Mephisto is having a hand in it, but in the end of it, it's Wanda, and she's choosing not to do the right thing. She sees the right path, and she's choosing not to go down it. But I don't have any. I don't have any like possible theories of what's gonna happen next episode or after that. But what about you, Carlos?
So I think that you hit it exactly on the nail when it comes to Mephisto. And going a little bit further, I think that why Mephisto is involved in this and why he is, I think, a villain, but maybe not necessarily the villain, is that, like you mentioned, when Wanda says that there's no way that she can be controlling all of this, and she even mentions, that she doesn't really know what's
Mm-hmm.
going on,
She
but
doesn't know
she
how it
does have some.
started.
Yeah, but she does have some control. Obviously, when she walks out of the dome, and she goes back in, you see the dome turn to red.
Yeah.
So it's Wanda no longer hiding, right? But this idea that she doesn't fully understand what's happening, I think that the way that Mephisto's involved in this is that with the grief that she's having, because that's one of the big a big focus of what's going on with Wanda, why she's doing this. We need to remember that Mephisto lives off of that. That's where he derives
Exactly.
his power, his energy. That's why he does deals with a bunch of different heroes, people, is because he wants to take possession of that happiness that people have, that thing that makes them have hope. And I think that he's involved in this because the massive trauma and grief that Wanda is having is something that he sensed and something that he is feeding on. And I think that that's how he's going to be involved in what's happening. A theory that I have for how Pietro is there is that when Wanda mentions to the twins, and when she says when they're babies that she had a a brother, and then she tells them as an order that he's far away now. I think that the kids, since they were manifested using Wanda's powers, clearly we know that they have a portion of her powers. I think that for them, they're noticing the grief that she has, and because they can tell that Vision is dead, I think that they ripped Evan Peters Pietro from the Fox Universe X Men, and they brought him into
Okay.
this universe because you can clearly see that Wanda is super surprised when she opens that door. She's
That's
not expecting
interesting.
it. She says, that she didn't cause the doorbell, and I think Pietro being here is a result of the kids pulling it, or at least Wiccan using his power to rip him off and bring him into this universe.
When she tells him, I had a brother, but he's far away right now.
Exactly.
And the Jit's like, you know what? Bring Uncle here, bro.
Exactly. And because Wiccan is, a kid, he ends up using his powers without having full control of them to pull out Evan Peters Pietro, and that's why we have the Quicksilver Pietro that we have now. One last quick little.
What you saying is Michael Fassbender's in the car waiting? We're gonna see him next episode.
Grandpa's next.
I hope so.
Yo, dog! I would shit myself. I swear, Michael Fassbender.
I hope so. And the way I still keep thinking the way that the X-Men are going to be brought into this universe is because they're going to be on a mission, like I said a while back, to get Evan Peters back to find out where he went. If it ends up being that the X-Men aren't hiding in plain sight and Professor X is shielding them from the overall general population. So that's one theory. Another quick little theory that I have too is that I have to touch on Monica Rambeau when she mentions that she knows an aerospace engineer. She gets on the phone. It doesn't go anywhere. It interrupts. There's no way that's not leading into something. I personally think that opens up the door for,
Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man.
I don't think it's gonna open up to Ant-Man because because it's an aerospace engineer and it has to do with like space and all of that. I personally think that it opens up the door for Mr. Fantastic or for Adam Brashear, Blue Marvel. That's what I think, and that would be.
But they need They need protons and neutrons. I was thinking like it'll be perfect, like Michael Douglas or somebody like that, because they said they need a train full of protons and neutrons to hit that.
Blue Marvel. I think that could be an opening for them to bring in Blue Marvel into his universe, and Blue Marvel has huge ties to Marvel. Photon, Captain Marvel. That's my theory.
Can you I'm sorry if I'm taking anybody's time, but can you elaborate who Blue Marvel is? I have no idea who that character is.
And I was gonna say Reed Richards isn't a aerospace engineer. He's not a space engineer.
No, I'm saying that it could be him or it could be Blue Marvel. So basically, Adam Brashear, he is a hero that the world kind of ended up forgetting about him. But he is an extremely intelligent individual, like Mr. Fantastic, and his specialty is in space, engineering, all of that stuff. And he ends up forming in the newer version of the Ultimates a really big friendship with Captain Marvel, Photon. But yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
That's cool. Thank you.
I think that he is gonna be the person that she was gonna reach out to.
It would be dope if they brought him in during Black History Month.
It would be super cool. Like I think that'd be like amazing. And what's specifically cool about him is that he also plays into this idea of the cosmic universe. And if we do bring in Galactus, he has a lot to do with Galactus recently. So
he's kind of like Marvel's like Superman. Like,
yeah, kind of.
That's how I like to picture him.
What he can do. Well, yeah, his power is basically antimatter manipulation.
But he like represents. He's like that golden age hero that was forgotten because of who he is and what he represented. But like he has a big cape, like. That's how I always pictured him when I started reading about him. With me.
Yeah, no, it's you.
All right, I got stuff to say.
You just ate 2 minutes of your time, Nick.
No.
Sorry. On to the next.
All right, so my theory is first of the recast screwed me up. I really thought that was going to be Speed, but it wasn't. But my theory here is I know I've talked shit about Mephisto, but who's the neighbor that's been hanging out with them this whole episode?
Agnes.
I think she is Mephisto.
Okay.
What about Dottie?
'Cause what?
Dottie, like Agnes did say, Dottie is in charge of everything in this town. Like if you
The
No,
blonde,
but
yeah.
she's like walking around in the house and seeing all the shit going down, and she's not surprised.
Yeah.
She's not saying anything. She's like, when she brings over the dead puppy, she's like, "You could do that." Like,
Mhm.
And then she's like,
playing in.
should we redo the scene? Should we redo the scene?
Yeah.
She's like, she's not surprised. She's like talking like this is like nothing. Like, I feel like she strolled in and she's like kind of shows up randomly. Like, if Mephisto's gonna be in the show, I think Mephisto is her in disguise, and he's just going around causing all these problems. Because whenever something goes down, she shows up. Whenever something's about to happen, she's right there.
Right. The neighbor was glitching out, cutting the thing, and she like rolled by her bike. You're right on that, Nick.
And she was like, "Shut up! Don't say anything. Shut up."
She's
Yeah,
she's
it's
always
like
there. I think that she's Mephisto and she's pushing her like Wanda's powers.
So
My other
I
theory
like that.
is
You notice that she's silencing everyone. I'm a note that one, Nick. That's a good one.
the other theory I have is that because they're not going to stop trying to figure out what's going on the outside, that Wanda's going to have to come out again, or Monica is going to go in, and so there's going to be some kind of fight, and that's how she becomes. I don't know if she's going to become Photon or one of her other names that she's had over the years, or if she becomes, because she was the second Captain Marvel. If she becomes, because when you bring up Captain Marvel, she gets all mad.
Mm-hmm.
She gets all pissed off. Like, did she become second Captain Marvel? Because she, in the comics, was the second Captain Marvel. So, that could be a thing. And my other thing is that I think that with Pietro back, that does open up the door for Magneto. I don't know if it will be Michael Fassbender. I would love it to be. But it opens up the door that could be a possibility. But now that if the kids are the ones that brought him back, which I don't think so, I think it's more Mephisto. Like, I don't want to agree with you guys, but this episode really hit those like
Mephisto
keynotes that if she's like, it's her powers doing all this, but she's not in control of it. He's the button pusher.
Yeah.
House of M. House of M.
But I think that now, Wiccan has been using his powers to speed them up.
Yep.
And we haven't seen Speed do anything. But now that he's back, because I knew that these kids were gonna be growing up fast, because this week they released the newest issue of X Factor, and the first intro story in that book before the even opening panel was Speed. Speed was in that book, and I haven't seen Speed in an X-Men book since how House of Power started. I haven't seen Speed at all, and all of a sudden, Speed's in the front with Prodigy, and he goes up to freaking North Star, and they're having this whole talk about being speedsters. I think that he's gonna become Speed, and he's gonna learn his powers from Pietro.
Nice.
That's all I gotta say.
Like that.
Let me just put all you guys to rest. This Pietro, right? It's fucking a guy from the town that just casted Evans Peters just to fucking throw everyone off and have
No, but he
everyone.
says, "Hey, this is how you're gonna treat your long lost brother."
He's in the town. She's imagining him. He's just another person controlled. I can bank on that. I will bank on that.
Put your lead down.
All right.
No, it's impossible
It's
because
not going to be a letdown.
even the kids were real, so he could easily be real because Vision's dead and walking around with his own conscience. The kids were created out of thin air, and I have no reason to doubt that that's actually an alternate reality. Alternate reality Pietro brought to life.
If
God
it
knows
is, then you're gonna fucking recast. You have to recast all of X-Men. You have to recast
They're
all
going
those
to- they've
people.
already done it once.
Please.
It makes no sense. And if fucking recasting them and Sophie Turner's gonna be fucking Phoenix, then fuck off. I ain't watching it. I can tell you now because she's a fucking woeful actress and is fucking shit. Forgive my language, right? But I'm getting fired up because I don't. The original, Halle Berry and all them, yeah, bring them in, 100%. But the fucking next reboot, guys, that was shit. I'm sorry, but that was shit. Besides,
Evan Peters.
what's the blue guy, the fucking not
Nightcrawler?
Mistake, but the one that
Nightcrawler?
Beast.
Nightcrawler. No, the only good one.
Nightcrawler?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's just a fan pop. It's just a Easter egg, like you were saying, with all the guns pointing. It's just a fan thing. I don't think they're going to go anywhere with this, to be honest. As for the kids, I reckon it's her. When she said, "Oh, don't age, don't age," I reckon it's her. It's not the kids. I reckon they're just throwing Marvel like, fuck it. By this time, at the point of episode 5, everyone's going to have their theories. Everyone's going to be doing this. So let's just turn it right around on them. Let's give them all the fishing. Woo! Just fish out the bait. Let them bite. And then, mate, I'm telling you, it's going to be the complete opposite to what we all feel and think. Sorry. What's her name? Wanda is going to be the villain. I'm telling you now,
100%.
Wanda's going to be the villain of the next phase. I'm just.
Badass.
Oh, you're saying
She knows what she's fucking doing. All right, she knows what she's doing.
So you're
She
saying
took that
she's,
body. I
she's
reckon
gonna
she did take the body, but originally she took the body because she realized that she could bring him back to life. She realized she had those powers.
I just want to say, I'm sorry, Matt. I just want to say before I forget, I love how it's the living will says do not resuscitate, but the living will doesn't say don't be chopped up and experimented on.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's the thing. She's brought him back. She knows what she's doing. She's going to be a villain. I think she's working alongside Mephisto. She's made a deal with Mephisto. I'll bring everything back for you in real life. You need to fucking join me. She's joining Mephisto, and her and Mephisto, she ain't brainwashed. Everyone's saying she's brainwashed by Mephisto. She ain't brainwashed. She's walking alongside. They're going to turn her into a baddie. She was originally a bad person.
Not really, though. Not really. She just wanted to
She was-
stop
Did you hear her
Stark.
accent when she walked out of the dome?
That sounds like the director right now when he's on the briefing, and we're just a bunch of Jimmy Choos. Like, what's going on here? What's going
She
on?
was the bad. She was originally a bad.
No,
She
she
told their
just
brain,
wanted
she-
she just wanted to
She
kill
was the former
Tony Stark.
Avenger.
She just wanted to kill Tony Stark.
Yeah, but
That was
even in the
it.
comics, she starts off as a member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So
You did.
She's a bad.
Hey, those guys did a lot of good for people. I'll tell you that.
It's just all I'm saying is that it's everything this show has taught us is that.
Hold on, Nick. Is that what she's gonna start after this show?
oh my
Damn!
God, if she starts the Brotherhood
Nah,
of Evil
yo, you
Mutants,
called
That'd be
it.
great. That'd be
Yo,
great.
she gonna start the bruh.
if Pietro's back, it's possible. And I would love to see Blob in the MCU.
Yo,
Blob and Toad.
My man, what do you got, buddy?
Carlo.
Oh, that's me? Oh, yeah, that's me.
That's you, mate.
All right, so I'm gonna
Yo,
say-
you blending in with the background.
So Dottie is Mephisto. You know why? Because when she cut her hand, she was bleeding like red blood, not black and white, because she's like in control, or she's in disguise.
I feel like it was a trigger.
He hasn't been mentioned again. Why? Because he's doing evil stuff in the background. Agnes, I believe she is like mentoring Scarlet Witch, because in the comic books, she has this older witch lady with gray hair, like teaching her like witchery and witchcraft or whatever. So, and I know like in the TV shows and movies, they make people younger and stuff to be cooler or whatever. So I think that's that. Director Hayward, I don't care if he's a villain because I'm not invested in him. He's just like in the background. He's just like noise. Like I don't care if he's a villain. I don't care if he's a good guy. Like he's like whatever. Also for Mephisto's Dottie. Oh yeah, and Photon. That's for Black History Month, and she's badass. And yeah, she didn't want her blood tested because she knows it's either Wanda gave her the powers because she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I had to throw you out. I know you're cool, but you pissed me off. But here's some powers, or whatever. And the reason I think she's mad at Captain Marvel is because she's out saving the universe, but she couldn't stay back and help her mom who was dying. Like you're like a god with all this magic powers and stuff, and you couldn't help my mom. Screw with Captain Marvel. So I'll be the same way. I feel you, Photon. Yeah, that's it. Who's up?
No,
I'm up. Basically, I keep it short and sweet. My theories are basically that Disney is going to be using WandaVision, just like we have those comics that retcon everything, and like how we have that one hero like Franklin Richard, and he just changes everything, and now all we know the next comic run after that, everything is like back to normal, and it's all new comic runs. I'm thinking that's what the excuse is going to be with WandaVision. It doesn't have to be that you like it or you don't like it. It's a good way to introduce everything. So I think everything that we've been talking about as a whole will be happening. X Men, everybody's coming in because it's just the easiest way to redcon it without saying, hey, we just threw these guys in. It's what you would do in a comic book, so why treat it differently? So I'm thinking my theories are we're gonna see a bunch of like expansions. I mean, come on, we saw House of M already. Nick just mentioned the Brotherhood. I mean, that it's a endless possibilities at this point. So I'm really thinking this is a retcon show, and everything is going to be mixed in, so we can get introductions to a bunch of other stuff. So I'll just keep it as that for my theory because the show because I mean we're seeing an X Men guy, so as we're progressing, we're retconning more and more stuff. Like all right, X Men, they that doesn't matter. Fox doesn't matter no more. We got them in our universe. Let's see where it goes. I'm liking it though. That's my theory that everything that we've been discussing the past few episodes and agreeing is just coming in. But I'll pass it back to Manny and let's go.
so you guys reminded me. I forgot to mention earlier. Monica not being hurt. I'm so happy that she said like Wanda protected me when she threw me out. She didn't have to do that. That just it's just for me. Honestly, that helped me out. Like the fact that she didn't die, going getting thrown out such a distance and stuff.
And she's not broken.
She's not broken. Like yeah, exactly.
It's not bug you, right?
Yeah, so like that really that little line I loved it. For me, it was like, oh, you were listening to me. Thank you. Just a throwaway line. Monica or Wanda protected me, and that's it. And another thing that she did confirm was the kids are hers. She's saying that it's not a illusion. It's a confirmed reality. The kids are definitely hers. I birthed them. I was there. They're her kids. So that's another question that was just answered. Um, but I'm liking all of these theories a lot. Like they're getting me excited, and they're just making me have more questions.